covering recruiting and the transfer portal for the Razorbacks. This is Inside Arkansas Recruiting with Dudley Dawson.
Welcome into the Inside Arkansas Recruiting Podcast presented by GoatLab. I am your host, Dudley Dawson, and on today's edition, we're going to be talking to North Little Rock head coach Brad Boulding, a friend that's been around in the coaching business forever, won a lot of games, and also sent a lot of athletes to Division I. And we've seen some changes over the years, hadn't we, in recruiting?
Oh gosh, I can remember walking out by 2006 or 7 here in North Little Rock with a bag of VHS tapes. I was headed to the post office to mail them. We've come unbelievably far since then, and now everything is online. You can digitally send it. You can get it out to every school in the United States in a matter of a few minutes. I mean, it's amazing how much you can get this stuff out there to all the different colleges at all levels, not just the big time schools. It's every level.
Talk to me a little bit about the differences in just on campus recruiting in terms of head coaches, assistant coaches coming. I guess you probably have even a few general managers stop by. Yeah,
that's the chief of staff. That's kind of a new one too. You know, I know you've seen that one. We actually have one at North Little Rock now. You know, we've had quite a few in and out. I mean, especially in the spring when those guys when they're not in season. I mean, they're here, and I mean, they're all over Central Arkansas. I mean, they know where to go. They know where the players are. They know who's getting them, who's coaching those guys the right way, and who's going to be ready. I mean, nowadays it's who's going to be ready to play coming out of high school. And, you know, some of these kids, you know, aren't ready. They're not ready to take that next step because they're competing against kids that they've recruited to play the same position that have been playing at another college. So they're a little behind the 8 ball. So, you know, get all that to weigh in as well.
You talk a little bit about the high school guys, obviously the portal guys. You know, they'll go through spring practice and then transfer somewhere else, and it's got to be tough on the kids to pick a college, go in January, and then have to maybe make a decision at the end of spring.
Yeah, I think some of that is they kind of get there and realize, oh, I'm going to end up behind a couple of guys, and they want to play. I mean, I get it. I don't agree with the moving around. I think you ought to go compete for it, and you're going to have to compete anywhere you go at this level and in college. So everybody's good. So, I mean, stick it out. I'm big on that. I'm not big on leaving somewhere and not trying to stick it out. I like competition. We try to create that at North Little Rock where we've got kids competing every day for a position. I want them to come out and be, have to feel like that, there's somebody right there that could take it. And that makes you compete even more. So and it's happening. I mean, some guys don't even hardly unpack their bags. I mean, they like drop their bag off. They go to the first meeting and they're like, I don't think and that part of it is just bizarre to me that a kid could do that. He could go, some of them are halfway across the country and they just move so quickly. And it is a different time.
Obviously followed recruiting for a long time. You've had a lot of kids come up here. You've had a lot of kids go to different places. Cam Settles is up here now. I think you saw him early that he was going to be a standout. Talk about him a little bit.
No, I love Cam. He's an old wise guy, man. He's just he's smart. He's very mature for his age. He was already starting to do those things that a lot of professional athletes do, just taking care of his body and doing the things that, the cryotherapies and the stretching and going to massage therapist. And so, I mean, he's was doing that on another level at a young age. And, and he was just always a student of the game. He's real smart, 4-point guy, picked up on anything we told him, and we really coached him. We kind of nitpicked him. I think he really bought into it. I think if you heard Coach Petrino say earlier in the summer was Cam's really good at his pass blocking. For a freshman to come in and be able to pass block against. I mean, I was talking to Quincy Rhodes. He was home the other day. He had his grandfather was on his deathbed, and he came by the office, and he was like, "Man, Cam, he can he's great. He's great on the edge of blocking. He kind of surprised me. He knocked me down a couple of times. And so I've been really, really proud of how Cam's adapted to that. I mean, that's a huge step when you go from high school football to the SEC and you're in a running back room with some really, really good running backs. So for Coach Petrino to say that about him, I think that is outstanding. He just needs to build on that, and he will, and he'll just keep getting better.
Talk about some other guys off that team. Obviously won 3 state championships in a row there with Little Rock Park View. You had a lot of talent, but those guys kind of didn't just sit on their laurels, did they?
No, Marion Robinson, just gone up to Oklahoma. They love him. He's just been an outstanding player for them and for us. I mean, we knew it. He wanted to play his 9th grade year. We were going to move him up when we moved Money Elston up, and he wanted to play his 9th grade year, so we played him. And in his last 9th grade game, we moved him up, and I think it was against Van Buren. He had 3 touchdowns in the first half. His 9th grade. That was his first high school game in 9th grade. So we knew that kid was going to be special. Another one is like unbelievable student of the game. I mean, he knew what everybody needed to do in the secondary on whatever call was made, and was a way above average, an elite level athlete. He'll play on Sundays for sure. I mean, unless some kind of bad injury happens, God forbid. I mean, he will have, a guy that will make generational money, for lack of. I mean, he's making great money right now. We can get into talking about that here in a little bit. And then Montero, Elston, Money. I mean, he's gone there, and I mean, I think they've had a running back or two. They had a couple injuries maybe, and he's maybe getting some time in practice. He's also learning that it's a little bit different level, obviously. And he was already a little bit smaller of a back anyway. He's thick. And I think he's gotten thicker, but I think they've really ranted and raved about him as well. So I mean, all of them have done really, really, really good. I'm really proud of them, and because it's tough, like we were saying, with this transfer portal. Yes, they got freshmen that are coming in, but they also got new people coming in at the same position they're going to play. I mean, Cam faced the young man that's there now. I guess that came in from, where'd he come from? Washington,
Eastern Washington.
Yeah. He's came at the same time Cam did. So, I mean, that was a prime example where you just gotta step it up, and it could change every year. I mean, I don't see Cam leaving. I'd be shocked because he loves Arkansas. But other people are going to come in. So it's just going to be a constant battle. I mean, I think it's awesome. It's very competitive. I don't like the fact that kids move a lot, but I like the fact that you can create a really competitive environment for your players in a matter of a few months by just finding the right kids.
You talked a little bit about the money, and that's part of it. I mean, it's a business these days. The kids have to take the best offers in that. And I know one of the things I wanted to discuss with you, I know, and we've talked about it over the years, there's a lot of pressure, even maybe not as much as there used to be, a lot of pressure to stay in state when you're an in-state star. And that, talk about how kids have to go through that and how tough it is for them basically to tell the in-state school no to go to a place that they see a better opportunity, a better situation, and that involves the NIL.
Yeah, I think that's a great question, Dudley. To just be real frank with you, it's really about relationships. I think it's about who comes in and can establish a relationship with the young man and who he hits it off with. I've watched it so many times, and I've become really close friends with a lot of great coaches that coach in the NFL and all over the United States because of these kind of things, because they get personal with me. I'm their head coach. So it's been really a neat, deal to see that and see what these kids get to go through year in, year out when they're talking about guys you see on TV every Saturday and the pressures that they have that comes with, the other students know all this stuff at school. So, they hear it from everywhere. They get it on social media. And then, then the money talk starts happening. And then you have all kinds of other things, other issues that happen where it could involve family members coming from you hadn't seen them in years, and all of a sudden they all of a sudden show up. And those are things that, sometimes coaches are dealing with. That's another little something we have to, look at and when we're dealing with high school football players and basketball players and any of these kids that might be getting NIL money.
And a few other things I want to talk to you, but also want to go back and mention GoatLab Brewery. It's our main sponsor. They have one in Lowell and have started a new one in Fayetteville. And it's had progressive wings there last night during the Arkansas game. And as the points were scored, the wings went down. There might have been 0 by the end of the ball game with all those points they put up last night. Bill Adams does a great job there for his family-run business. Lots of craft beers, a lot of good food. I'm sure there were some people that took advantage of the breakfast thing he has. You can get all the pancakes you can eat, and either 2 brews or 2 mimosas. So that's a great deal. And he also had Ted Lasso trivia last Thursday at his Lowell location. Thought I did pretty well in that, but I think I needed to watch it a little bit more again. Looking forward to the 5th season. But wanted to go back now. Obviously, with Arkansas, Coach Pittman and his staff, there's been different guys, over the years during his time here. They've been able to get some players in state. Right now, I think 4 out of 15, the top 15, are committed. The others have gone out of state. Talk to me a little bit about maybe the way you see Arkansas recruiting and just how they go about their business with the kids that you've had over the years.
Yeah, they do a great job. Coach Pippen and I have enough of a relationship. Like when I got to North Little Rock, I was able to say, I called him up on Jameer Lee and I said, Coach, this kid's a great player, and let's not let Oklahoma beat us this time. And he immediately offered him, on the phone. He trusts me enough because of the players that I've been blessed with over the years. But I think they do a great job. They come to games. They do a great job of relationships on social media, texting, and contacting me. They contact me with players. Like there was an incident with Cam. I think he was late to one morning practice, and they're strict about that, and that's good. And the running back coach asked me if Cam had a problem with being late to practice, and I was like, no, he never was an issue with me. So that was good. That was just a one little hiccup, but they stay in contact. So I'm very close with Coach Pittman. I'm good friends with him, and so I think they do a great job. I've been very, very impressed with all of them, even the new guys that have come in, and some of these. They got the new chief of staff and these guys that have. I just think they're doing a really good job. I think it's a good culture up there right now. When I was up, I took my son up there last year. He was a 7th grader. We just went up there to just enjoy one of the recruiting days. And I thought it was just great. I thought the environment and everything that they do for the recruits, it's first class. And I see, when I was there, I saw all the in-state best players were all up there. So it was really neat. That was the first time I'd really experienced that, and probably since Houston Nutt was up there.
Well, tell me a little bit about what, like when you're coming in from out of state, I don't know if you're negative recruiting, but you're trying to tell everybody why it's a situation you should leave the state. What are some of the schools saying in terms of, we've got this better spot for you? We talked about the bag, as the kids say. Talk about what they're doing that's maybe getting some of these guys away from Arkansas.
For me, for my players, I've always felt like it's always been about a loyalty thing. When KJ committed to Arkansas and then flipped to Ohio State, that's when I was not working at North Little Rock. That happened when I was not here. And so I just feel like all my players have always just been loyal. They understood what a commitment is. And so I've always respected that, whether it's to Arkansas or Oklahoma or Ohio State, whatever it may be. I've always appreciated that they understood what a commitment was. But to me, there's so many variables out there in recruiting with what they do now. Everything, it's so fluid. It's just always constantly changing. we went up and toured because we're building new indoor at North Little Rock, and we went through the superintendent and I, and some others went through all the indoors through Northwest Arkansas, and then went through all of Arkansas's stuff and all their recruiting stuff. And I mean, it's just constantly changing, even from last year. I mean, it's just, I mean, they're staying above, which is what they should, they should be doing. And I think that our kids are benefiting from that. Arkansas is under, we're a smaller state, and, per capita, we're not going to have as many Division I players. But, when we do, I think it's really, really important that Arkansas does a great job of trying to recruit them to the university, because we all know, without having to get all into this, that when Arkansas has won in the past, it's always been with Arkansas, with a lot of Arkansas kids. I'm not going to say all Arkansas kids, but I think Arkansans know what I mean.
I talked to your brother Bobby at the end of last week. He made a comment to me I really enjoyed. He said, "I'm not sure that I could have taken over another system where I would have had to build." And he said, I'm appreciative that I got to take over Little Rock Parkview. That seemed like a seamless transition when you made the decision to go back to North Little Rock.
Oh, yeah. I mean, me and him do the same thing. So, I mean, I'm sure he's tweaked some things, and probably some of the silly things that I do, he probably stopped doing them. And, vice versa. I mean, that's we live and learn. But, I mean, we've learned so much from each other and used so much of each other's stuff that, like I said, it was really seamless. It was kind of a no-brainer. You got to go through all the interviewing process and all that. But, it was pretty much, I think everyone knew that he would be the candidate for it. And I'm glad he was, because I think there's still some championships to be won there.
It seems like maybe 20 years ago we were talking about the lack of players out in Little Rock and the Central Arkansas area, and that started coming back. How do you see the Central Arkansas football right now? And no matter whether it's for Arkansas State, all the other schools that we have play football in the state or going out of state, that's better overall for the recruiting when Little Rock is strong.
No doubt, it is. And I see, as long as people stay involved. I mean, it takes a lot of folks to, be involved and have that many young kids going through Pee-wee programs. I mean, you got to have helmets and shoulder pads. And I mean, there's a lot of things that go into that. So if people will remember those things when those kids or those coaches or those organizations are asking for donations, I mean, I think that's a really good donation, because those kids, you want them to keep playing, and we want to get them to our hands, to the middle schools and, and on up. That's how you get these kids, especially these ones that you can win with at all these different universities. It doesn't have to be, like you said, just Arkansas. It could be Arkansas Tech or whoever, but these kids get developed. And if there's any kind of gap in there, there's no guarantee that the kid's going to keep playing football anyway.
One last thing before I get you out of here, and I appreciate you taking time. It was a big step to leave a program that had won 3 straight state championships to take over a North Little Rock program that had some success after you left, but had dipped down. Talk about that challenge you have now. Just like your brother was saying, he didn't know if he would knock some years off of you. Talk about that challenge. It seems like you're excited about that one.
Oh yeah, like I said, Dudley, we talked about it. It's unfinished business for me. I mean. And we never left. Our kids have always gone to school here. So, I mean, that's Dogtown. This is where I've lived since 2007, and our family have put roots here. So this is where we feel like we should be. And it just, I mean, when they called and it just all worked out, it couldn't ask for a better deal. And I live really close to the school. I could walk to school if I wanted to. So it's just a really, at my point in my coaching career, I mean, I couldn't be more blessed. My family could be more blessed.
I know you've had a lot of experiences over the course of your coaching career, but that had to be a new one the other night. Obviously, just talk about, the situation that kept the ball game from being finished the other night.
Yeah, it was such a strange deal. I can tell you, there's no weapons getting in our stadium. We have too much security. You get wand. Everybody has to have a clear bag. And so what they say is that, and I walked up to the steps and look, or where he was sitting 3 rows down from the top, and there's not you would have to be on top of a building. So this bullet, and they said, the police later said there was a gunshot in like Silver City Courts, which is like 3 or 4 blocks of the other side of the interstate. Now, this guy was sitting between 3 and 4 people. So it had to come to, that's how the velocity of it had to have come over, because there was no straight shot from you can't, when you sit where that guy was sitting, you can't see a vehicle. So it just had to be, it's just as random, and it's lucky that that bullet didn't hit someone and kill someone. So we're very fortunate.
It certainly, think about him. What about the game? So did it just end there?
Yeah.
We played.
Yeah. I mean, with the environment where we are in right now in our country, no one. Football is just a game. At the end of the day, when you don't know where that bullet could have someone been on top of the building, or you don't know, you have no idea, and so it just be done with it and get everybody home safely, and then we'll figure out what we do from there. But I can tell you, it'll be like Fort Knox around there from here on out. So I think everybody can rest assured that you'll be very safe at North Little Rock Stadium.
Well, Coach, again, I appreciate you taking some time as you've lived an interesting career, and look forward to seeing what y'all do the rest of the year.
I appreciate you, Dudley. Good talking to you guys.
Again, want to thank North Little Rock head coach Brad Bolding for joining us on this edition of the Inside Arkansas Recruiting Report. Be sure and visit our major sponsor, the GoatLab Brewery. Again, the place is in Lowell and Fayetteville. The new one in Fayetteville just opened, and as I said, they had progressive wings there the other night and during a watch party. I'm sure there'll be another one going on at 11 a.m. this Saturday when Arkansas takes on Memphis, and certainly one going on before and after the game with Notre Dame the following week at Reynolds Razorback Stadium. Be sure to subscribe to us here. We've got a lot of great stuff on YouTube, and also you can subscribe to the audio version of the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. I get mine on Apple, and a lot of people get theirs elsewhere. I'm Dudley Dawson, and we'll see you next time. And as I have started saying as I'm signing off, remember, yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. Go out and do something to make the world better.